Greetings and welcome to the 12th episode of Cities of Cyrodiil, a series where we take a look at 3 different town and city mods each month to just, help populate the rather underpopulated landscape of the Imperial province. And now, this series has actually been on hiatus for a while, and indeed, we stopped pretty much all Oblivion-related video production after July of last year. So we're just, sort of getting into the swing of things today, so hopefully we'll get things back on track here. But in any event, download links are down below, so let's go ahead and get started here. And we're going to start off, as we always do, with our popular town mod of the month, which this time around is the Imperial City Suburbs by Lady Olivia. And now, as the name would imply here, this mod adds a new set of suburbs to the Imperial City, right along and below the Talos Bridge connecting the Imperial City to the rest of Cyrodiil. And in a way, this is basically a city expansion of the Imperial City itself, but this new suburb is still kind of detached and independent of the main city here. And in any event, the majority of this new suburb here can be found along the main road below the Talos Bridge, with the buildings on either side of the Talos Bridge overpass, including a fair bit of Imperial City architecture, and a number of fishing docks for handling just small boats and ships here. And one of the neat things about this town, or a suburb if you will, is that it seems to be just largely built using the vanilla landscape. So the town here is sort of built to match the vanilla game terrain, with the road twisting and turning around the bay towards the Imperial City here. And one of the just more iconic locations that you'll find in the Imperial City suburbs is this floating tavern out on the water here, with lots of outdoor dining where the local citizens come during the evening hours to get a quick meal, catch up on the events of the day, and enjoy the sun just setting over the landscape of Cyrodiil. It really is just an absolutely beautiful and atmospheric location. But moving on, the Imperial City Suburbs has about a dozen buildings or so, including a small waterfront with a number of residential homes looking out towards the western shores of Lake Rumere. And of course, it should be noted that the NPCs here all have daily schedules, with about some 30 NPCs that go about their daily business here on the outskirts of the Imperial City. Now, just jumping over to the other part of town here, one of the more just scenic additions to this village is an alien ruin and a statue in the middle of the bay here, which can be seen from almost every point in town, as the suburbs just, circle around the bay here. And off to the side, you'll find an outdoor market with a number of street vendors providing just a number of different services and a ton of different goods for sale, which is also, conveniently right along the main road heading into the Imperial City. And also of note here, one of the main attractions of the Imperial City suburbs is the Highland Hotel, a massive inn where you can get a room for the night, as well as, get a meal at their high-class indoor restaurant. There's also a set of gardens here, and a number of just scenic landscape additions, making for a truly impressive addition to the Imperial City here. And real quick, let's just take a look at the map here, and you'll find this new suburb pretty much right outside of the Imperial City, with 3 new map markers that you can use to teleport here at any time, including one for the harbour and one for the market. And now, you also find a house for sale here with a fly on the door, and going inside, you can buy this home from the current owner, either buying it with or without the current furnishings. And going with the furniture will set you back about 15,000 gold, a pretty decent price for a new player home. And anyway, just looking around this player home here, you'll find a dining room, complete with a table just, full of food, and a lounge with a cozy fireplace here on the first floor. And upstairs, you'll find a sort of library and a study, with a few bookshelves and a desk, as well as a reading area with a number of chairs and benches where you can just, sit back with a book if you so desire. And up on the top floor, you'll of course find the master bedroom, complete with a bed, some storage with a few chests here, and another desk, all of which, just comes pre-decorated with the pre-furnished, option here. But just moving on, we're going to take a look at just a couple of interiors before we move on to our next town mod here. And rather notably, this mod includes a set of offices for the Imperial Archaeological Society, an organization that was mentioned in Elder Scrolls lore, but was notably missing in vanilla Oblivion. Sadly, there's no actual quests here, but there's still a rather nice interior for you to explore here, with a number of just artifacts and, shelves of books. And now last of all, we're just going to take a peek inside the Highland Hotel, which has a rather impressive looking entrance and lobby, as well as a fairly detailed and cluttered restaurant, where you can order a meal to go off your room, or just a bite to eat as you look about town. And anyway, overall, the Imperial City Suburbs is a beautiful looking new town addition and expansion to the Imperial City, with a ton to see and do, including a dozen new buildings, some 30 NPCs with daily schedules, a number of new services with an open-air market, 2 inns and taverns, a viable player home, and much more. If you want a more just populated Imperial City Island, this is a great mod to, just add to your game here. And next, our new town mod of the month is Verdant Grove by Emperor Pilaf. And now, this is, well, just a bit different from our typical town mod, as in order to get to this new village, you'll need to first buy the Verdant gem from a merchant in the Imperial City Market District, and once you have this gem, it'll add a new spell that you can cast to be teleported to the Verdant Grove, a new realm with a small village in it for you to explore and live in if you so desire. And as soon as you arrive, you'll find a welcome note introducing you to this new realm. And obviously this is just a pretty different take from the typical town and city mod, since this village isn't actually in Cyrodiil, and is pretty much just entirely contained in this small valley or grove, with a small river dividing the valley in two. And the village here isn't huge by any stretch of the imagination. There's about 4 buildings in here, including 2 possible player homes, 2 sets of shops, the latter of which include some upper-level apartments, which we'll be taking a look at here in a moment. And otherwise, there's a few merchant stands and tents in this valley, but that's pretty much it. And regardless of its small nature, this is a beautiful valley and village with quite a few services, and some really just neat little scenic additions here, like the various small stone golems that you'll find decorating the passages and streets of Verdant Grove, and not to mention a lot of just really scenic little details. A lot of effort was clearly put in by the author to make this grove feel cozy and homey, with a truly great dedication to atmosphere, especially, with little things like a vegetable garden, a waterfall, and what appears to be a tiny shrine, which is, again, just, really lovely looking. Now, obviously, there's no map markers here, so just moving on, let's take a look at a couple of the player homes here, starting with the Hunter's Den, which you can buy here for about 300 gold. And as soon as you make the purchase, this home will just update with a number of furnishings and details, including a chest to store your stuff in, a bed to sleep on, a small training area, a set of drawers, and a table for you to eat at. It's really nothing massive, but even so, this little player home has a really just good sense of atmosphere. And heading over to the other part of the grove to just check out some of the services here, you'll find that the merchants have a number of just unique and powerful items to sell you, including a general goods merchant, a smithy, and a tavern. There's also a magic shop on the upper level here, and this is actually where you can buy one of 2 apartments, or both if you so desire, and they're really pretty cheap, just about 100 gold each, and they're really just a small one-room flat with a bed, chests, maybe a couple of crates, and bookcase, but that's just about it. And anyway, overall, Verdant Grove is a small village of just about, 4 buildings or so, but it has a lot of just a unique character. And since it's in its own world space, it won't conflict with really anything else. And it does have a lot of services, including about 5 merchants, of a general goods trader, a smithy, tavern, and magic shop. There's also 4 player homes, including 1 free player home, as well as 2 apartments and 1 hunter's den that you can purchase. And if you're looking to add a just scenic new realm to the game for you to occasionally visit, this is a great mod to check out here. And finally, for our underrated town mod of the month, we have Ansgar Manor by SkandarGraun. And, well, this is really a bit more of a house mod, as the name here would imply, but either way, this adds a new settlement north of Shadenhall, on top of a hill overlooking Lake Arias. And this is a rather small walled-in settlement, including a palisade that goes around the entire property here, a set of stables, and 3 buildings, including a guardhouse, a merchant shop, and a large manor house. And obviously, this is a pretty chilly and just a northern-looking settlement, with a large fire pit in the center of the courtyard here. And all in all, it has a rather just a rustic-looking appearance that, while a bit on the rough side, is no less charming, and even perhaps just a bit cozy. But real quick, before we move on, I wanted to point out the view here. There's a couple of small platforms along the palisade that give you some just amazing views overlooking Cyrodiil, and this really is just an excellent hillside perch here. But just taking a look at the map here next, you can see this settlement just north of Shadenhall, and of course it comes with a map marker for you to use, though you'll need to discover it first, so that's, going to mean a bit of a hike. And just to take a look at some of the interiors here, we're going to start out with the guardhouse, which is a fairly rich and cozy looking building, with a mix of that rustic wood from the exterior, but with some, obvious rich furnishings, with rugs, sets of armor, and numerous trophies along the walls here. And just moving on, here you can see the merchant shop, which has again just a cozy lower counter and shopping area, with a number of goods for sale here, and just a warmly lit and atmospheric interior. Both of the NPCs here offer a variety of services, including item repair and enchantment recharging. And finally, we're just going to take a look at the manor house. And technically there's a short quest for you to, earn the manor here, though it's really more of a case of just following the clues. But anyway, just skipping that and giving you a tour of this rich looking abode. You'll find a library and an alchemy lab, including containers for ingredients, here on the first floor. Though that's not the only thing down here. There's also a rather cozy and atmospheric kitchen here, fully laden with food and dishes and ready to serve a feast if you so desire. And one other small addition here is a downstairs bathroom, including a lovely fountain, bathtub, and a sink to just to wash off the dust from your travels and relax after a long day out adventuring in the wilderness. Now up on the top floor, you'll of course find the master bedroom, including a fireplace, your own dining and seating area, a closet, and, pretty much everything else you could need in a master bedroom. All of it nicely pre-decorated and cozy, with a nice warm sense of atmosphere. But one last thing to take a look at here is down in the basement, and that's a weapons and armory hall with plenty of space to show off your weapon and armor collections that, you've collected during your travels across Cyrodiil. And overall, this is just a really lovely player home. But anyway, overall, this is a small settlement, just 3 buildings, with a palisade, a couple of guards to, watch over the property here, NPC scheduling, 2 merchants that offer a variety of services, a map marker, and a player home for you to earn through a short quest. And this is just another great scenic addition to the Cyrodiil countryside that just helps to populate the Imperial province a bit more. But that's about it for this episode of Seas of Cyrodiil, so as always, down the links are down below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.